flying cars, complex drones, and space travel. These are what come to mind when we think of sci-fi movies. Did you know that some of our present-day technologies were influenced by sci-fi comics and movies? In this video, we list some science fiction ideas that paved the way for today's technological marvels. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Techtopia, for exciting and informative videos. And remember to press the bell icon. Number 5. Liquid-fueled rockets. Liquid-fueled rockets have an intriguing connection with science fiction, and their development is a story of imagination meeting reality. The idea of rockets using liquid fuel wasn't just a wild guess, it was inspired by imaginative stories. One of the earliest pioneers in this field was Robert H. Goddard. Often called the father of modern rocketry, Goddard's work was influenced by science fiction writers like H.G. Wells. Wells's novels, such as The War of the Worlds, featured futuristic technology that inspired dreams about space travel. These ideas helped spark genuine scientific efforts to make those dreams come true. In the 1920s, Goddard started experimenting with liquid-fueled rockets. His rockets used liquid oxygen and gasoline, pretty advanced for his time. He proved that liquid fuel could provide the thrust needed to reach space. This was a big deal because before this, rockets mostly used solid fuels, which were less efficient. The excitement about liquid-fueled rockets took off in the 1960s during the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both countries wanted to showcase their space travel capabilities, and liquid-fueled rockets were critical to their plans. NASA's Saturn V rocket, which took astronauts to the moon during the Apollo missions, is a great example. It's used a mix of liquid oxygen and kerosene to lift off and carry astronauts to the lunar surface. In recent years, private companies have taken rocket technology to new heights. SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk, developed the Falcon 9 rocket, which uses liquid kerosene and liquid oxygen. What's remarkable is that the Falcon 9 is designed to be reusable, something that science fiction has long envisioned but is only now becoming a reality. Number 4. Voice-controlled robots. Voice-controlled robots were popular in science fiction long before they became a reality. Take R2-D2 from Star Wars, for example. This droid with its beeps and whirs seemed like something out of a futuristic fantasy. But the idea of machines responding to our voices wasn't just a sci-fi dream. It had real-world roots. The journey to voice-controlled technology began in the 1950s. Bell Laboratories developed an early system called Audrey that could recognize spoken digits from a single voice. It was a groundbreaking start, but still limited in scope. Then in the 1960s, IBM introduced the shoebox, a machine that could understand 16 spoken English words. This was a big leap forward, showing that voice recognition could handle more than just numbers. By the 1970s, the U.S. Department of Defense took a serious interest in this technology. They set up the DARPA Speech Understanding Program to push the boundaries of what voice recognition could do. This program aimed to develop systems to understand and process spoken language, laying the groundwork for more advanced technologies. However, it wasn't until the late 1960s that the concept of a talking and responsive computer captured the public's imagination. Stanley Kubrick's film 2001: A Space Odyssey featured HAL 9000, an artificial intelligence with a human-like voice that could interact with the crew of a spacecraft. HAL's ability to understand and respond to natural language was a huge inspiration for those thinking about voice-controlled technology. Fast forward to the turn of the century and consumer electronics started to catch up with these sci-fi visions. Apple made waves by introducing Siri in 2011. Developed in partnership with the speech recognition specialist Nuance, Siri was a major step forward. It allowed users to control their iPhones and ask questions using natural language, much like interacting with a character from a sci-fi movie. Google wasn't far behind, launching its voice search product in 2011. This technology allowed people to search the web using their voices, making it clear that voice control was moving from the realm of science fiction into everyday life. Number 3. Atomic power. Science fiction has played a big role in the development of atomic power, with H.G. Wells being a key figure. In 1914, Wells wrote a novel called The World Set Free. In it, he imagined a world where artificial atomic energy was used by 1933. He described this energy as incredibly powerful and foresaw it leading to a major global conflict, but he also envisioned a positive outcome. A peaceful world government emerging from the chaos. It's amazing to think that Wells's fictional story was so ahead of its time, predicting concepts that would eventually become real. One person deeply influenced by Wells's book was physicist Leo Szilard. He read The World Set Free in 1932, just before Wells's predicted date. Szilard was inspired by the idea of atomic energy and decided to explore how to create a nuclear chain reaction. By 1933, he solved this problem, which was a huge breakthrough in nuclear science. Wells's fiction pushed Szilard to make his imagined world a reality. Szilard's work led to the development of nuclear reactors and atomic bombs. But Wells's influence didn't stop there. After World War II, Szilard, now a prominent figure in nuclear science, continued to be inspired by Wells's ideas. He was concerned about the dangers of nuclear weapons and pushed for arms control and the peaceful use of nuclear power. His efforts to promote international cooperation and prevent further conflicts were rooted in Wells's vision. Number 2. Submarines. Submarines have been profoundly shaped by science fiction, particularly the works of Jules Verne. Verne's 1870 novel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, introduced readers to the Nautilus, a futuristic submarine commanded by Captain Nemo. It was more than just a story, it was a blueprint for what submarines could one day become. Verne's Nautilus was ahead of its time. It was portrayed as a powerful, self-sustaining vessel capable of extended underwater travel, which sparked imagination and influenced real-world submarine designs. Verne described the Nautilus with features resembling modern submarines, such as electric propulsion and advanced navigation systems. These ideas were so innovative that they inspired real engineers and inventors to make them a reality. Simon Lake, often called the father of the modern submarine, was one of those inspired by Verne's vision. Lake read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as a boy and was captivated by the idea of undersea exploration. His career was dedicated to turning science fiction into fact. He invented key submarine technologies like ballast tanks, which allow submarines to dive and surface, and the periscope, which lets submarines see above water while staying submerged. These innovations were crucial for making submarines practical and effective. In 1898, Lake's company launched the Argonaut, the first submarine to operate successfully in the open ocean. It was a significant achievement, proving that submarines could handle real-world conditions. Lake's work didn't just mimic Verne's ideas, it made them functional and reliable. Jules Verne himself recognized Lake's achievements and sent him a congratulatory note. It was a massive endorsement from the author whose imaginative ideas had influenced Lake's work. During World Wars I and II, submarines became crucial military assets. Advances in technology began to reflect some of the visionary ideas from science fiction. Submarines started to be built with more streamlined designs, improved propulsion systems, and better life support systems, concepts that Verne had imagined over a century earlier. These improvements made submarines more effective and versatile both as military vessels and for deep-sea exploration. Number 1. The flip phone. Flip phones have a fascinating history tied to the world of science fiction. One of the most iconic inspirations comes from Star Trek, a popular TV series from the 1960s. In this show, characters used a communicator device which closely resembles the flip phones that became popular decades later. The communicator had a flip-open design much like the clamshell flip phones of the late 90s and early 2000s. This show aired at a time when mobile communication was still a distant dream, making its influence on real-world technology all the more remarkable. In the 1980s, Motorola released the first handheld mobile phone, the Dynatac 8000X, which was bulky and expensive. Engineers and designers looked for ways to make phones more compact and user-friendly as technology advanced. The flip design was a practical solution, providing a large screen and keypad while folding neatly to fit in a pocket. The flip mechanism also helped protect the screen and keypad from damage, adding to its appeal. Motorola's StarTAC, launched in 1996, was one of the first widely popular flip phones. Its design was directly influenced by the Star Trek communicator. It was compact, lightweight, and had a distinctive flip-open feature. It captured the imagination of consumers. The StarTAC sold millions of units and cemented the flip phone's place in mobile phone history. The flip phone's appeal wasn't just about looks, it offered practical benefits, such as ending calls by simply closing the phone, which felt intuitive and satisfying. The clamshell design also made the phones more durable and less prone to accidental dialing. As we moved into the 21st century, smartphones with touchscreens began to dominate the market. However, the flip phone left a lasting legacy and even saw a resurgence with modern reinterpretations like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, combining nostalgia with advanced technology. Which of these inventions inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.